guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on this Christmas dress make-along video. So I have a couple of patterns that I'm considering, and I've done a bunch of swatches. So I'll show those to you right quick if I can find them. I just had them. There they are. So this is the fiber. I've been doing a special blend. I was going to turn this into a hand woven skirt. So I was doing lace weight 2-ply. And so far I started this a few years ago. I have not touched it since it's been a few years. So I just wound up the yarns, and I've got this little thing in the middle so the middle doesn't collapse. It's really pretty blue. And when I spun that up, I also spun up this gold because I wanted to use this as an accent. They both have sparkle in them. So the first pattern I was going to do was, oh goodness, was the Moorland dress by Yaroslavna Rud, I think is how it's pronounced. It's Russian, I think. She is Green Mouse on Ravelry. So I've test knit one of her patterns, and I love the fit of the shoulder, how she shapes the shoulder and how it fits me. So I really wanted to do the Moorland. I love it. However, when I did a test swatch with 2 strands of the lace yarn held together on US 2 needles, I just don't like the cables. They're flat. The yarn needs to be more round, more defined. It just isn't doing it for me. The fabric is great. I did try to swatch with a strand of mohair and 1 strand of the lace, but I was having an allergy day and I could not handle the mohair. So today I thought I would try again, and this time I decided to go with the other dress, which is the Hayfield dress by the same designer, and I did purchase both patterns. So I haven't washed this swatch yet. So I did the same thing, but on US 4 needles, 2 strands of the lace. I like it okay. Then I did 2 strands of the gold, and the gold is ever so slightly thicker than the blue. So that was just a color transition to see how I like the color together and see if I like it better with the mohair or just the lace. So then I started swatching. This blue, light blue here is 1 strand of lace and 1 strand of mohair on US 4 needles. And then I went down to US 3, and I'm still not getting gauge. So my stitches are still too big. So I'm going to go down to US 2, and I'm going to knit very loose on the US 2 because mohair is really difficult to do. But I think that I want to do the dress in that, the first bit of lace at the cuffs and the bottom that is supposed to be the same yarn as the rest of the dress, and then I'm going to do the really fine lace, I think, with this blue held single. So that'll be the lace trim. So I think that'll be really pretty to have these 3 colors in this order at the bottom of the dress, around the neckline, and at the cuffs. So the lace trim is knit separately. It's knit sideways, and you sew it on. Well, yeah, you kind of sew it on or knit it in. I'm not exactly sure. The instructions are a little bit confusing for me. In some places you have to sew it on, in other places you knit it on, and I'm just going to sew it on. So I'm going to start with casting on the gold, and I'm going to do chart number 2, which is the lace that is part of the rest of the dress. It's not separate. for the bottom up from the hem, but I want the dress longer than the pattern, so I've added, the repeat is in sets of 12, so I added 120 stitches to the bottom circumference so that I will have more width that I can then decrease out and make the dress longer without losing that A-line shape. Brain here, I've been working on this all day and it's getting late. It's 7 o'clock on Sunday, August 11th, and this is yeah, I want to knit this for Christmas, but I realized that I have to finish blending the fibers and spinning the yarn and knit this whole dress on teeny tiny needles, like US 2 needles, the whole freaking dress. So that's going to take forever. So I'm going to go ahead and cast on today because I just cannot resist. I'm supposed to be knitting my camisole with pure linen that I've already knit 10 inches already, yeah, and ripped out and started over. But I'm going to cast this on. So I need to get my US 3 needles so I can cast this on and knit the lace with this, and then I'll go down to US 2 and I will knit with the mohair. Wish me luck, guys. 552 stitches takes god awful forever to knit, let me tell you. I don't even know what the size is on this thing, but I suspect close to 60 inches. So this is my long extension cable. I couldn't find my 40-inch, or it was hiding. Who knows? It may have been in my hand and I didn't realize it because it looked too small. But these stitches are still bunched up, but I'm having to slide them around and around. Okay, I have to do this. You know, just slide and slide and slide. But I kind of need them the other direction. That's a little bit of a pain, but I was afraid to put it on something smaller and it wouldn't fit right. Yeah, that's the direction I want to go. I think it's not twisted. It's really hard to tell. I've checked about 5 times during the lace part and didn't seem like it was twisted. I don't know when I will know for sure. Hopefully it's just not twisted. Hopefully I would have already known. But I think this little lace edging is super, super cute. Like, I really like that little triangle there. Super cute. I cannot wait to put the trimming lace on later. It will be coming off of this end, so it'll hang down off of this bottom edge here. I did forget I was going to film this part, and I started going ahead and knitting the body of the dress. So now this is 120 stitches more than the largest size, because the lace pattern is in repeats of 12, so I just added 10 repeats, and I will have to decrease out to the proper number of stitches, which should take the entire length of the skirt to do. If not, I will just have to knit it at the skinniest part for a little while, or rather I will try it on as I go. I will check my gauge as I go. I said I was going to knit the body on 2mm needles, but I went ahead and started on the 3mm. I will check my gauge. It's the bottom of the dress. It's not going to matter what the gauge is right now, but as I get up towards the top, I may have to adjust needle size, and that's perfectly fine. I'll check my gauge at some point and see where I'm at and how I'm going, and we'll go from there. But I'm not going to be able to do a ton more of knitting. Well, 6 ounces is a freaking lot. So about 5 ounces now after all the swatching, especially in lace yarn. But so I have a lot to go through for the first skein. But the second skein, I'm leaving it until after I have spun more. And technically, I think I'm using the wrong one. The other one's slightly thicker. I was going to save this one. Oh well. I want the other one to be saved for the lace trim. And unless I spin another one as fine as this one, and then I'll save that. But the lace trim that is separate and sewn on is going to be knit in just the one strand of lace yarn instead of the lace and mohair. I should say hand spun. The hand spun yarn. Yeah, I did most of this today. I cast on and did the first 2 rows on, well, now I have to open up my computer again. What day? August 11th. So I started it and I did the first couple of rows, and it has sat. Today is the 15th. So it has sat for 4 days and not been touched. 3 days. It has sat for 3 days and not been touched. That sounds better. And I picked it up today. Like, I am going to knit the lace and that's it. And then I had a rough day emotionally. Menopause, people. Menopause is killing me. It's kicking my butt. I hate it. I'm not enjoying it at all. It's just, I want calm, collected, happy me back. And she has run away. Collected, calm, happy me has run away. She is nowhere to be found. And this weird viral up and down monster has replaced her, and the monster needs to go away and Kim needs to come back because I miss the real Kim. I'm tired of blowing up at nothing. I'm tired of crying every time I turn around. You may notice that my eyes have dark circles under them. That's because I spent an hour crying today, and about 2 days ago or 3 days ago I spent an hour crying. It's like, can we just stop the waterworks, stop the emotion, and just, you know, knitting is saving my life though. So we'll get back to knitting. We'll see how much of this dress I can do this month because I'm kind of obsessing over it. But I've still got to process the rest of the fiber and spin it. In order to do that, I have to finish a commission spin, which by the time you see this will have been done months ago. But as of August 15th, that commission spin is not yet done, and I'm not in the mood to work on it, and it's too important to not care when I work on it. So it's waiting for me to be in a slightly better mood, which will be tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be awesome. I speak that. The more upset I am, the faster I knit. The more anxious I am, the faster I knit. So a lot of knitting happened today. It doesn't look like much, but that's 500 and I just said it. 52 stitches. 552 stitches. So 12, 14. I'm on the 14th round now. But I had already done 2. So 10, 11, 12 rounds. I'm on the 12th round of the day. So probably should stick a marker in here and see how far I get before the next check-in update, which hopefully won't be for a month because I got enough to do this month without knitting on this. Hopefully things will get better. Bye, y'all. So it's time for another dress update, and super excited. It is September 24th, and I finally finished the first 6-ounce skein of lace hand spun. This is the second one, and it's big. It's really big. And the third one is ready to start spinning, so I'm very excited to get that going. I just finished a spin. I just have to put it on the skein winder and then wash it, count the yardage and all that. So it's still on the bobbin, but I can start another spin now. Yes. So anyway, aside from that, the skirt, so funny because when I started the skirt, my row gauge was so much different than it is now that I was sure the skirt would be dragging on the ground and it would be awful. So I started putting the decreases closer together, and all of a sudden I realized I'm halfway through the decreases and the skirt's not even going to reach my knees. So I'm having to spread out my row gauge again. I didn't want to rip it out, so it's going to be a little, anyway. These stitch markers here show every single decrease that I've done. And yeah, they get pretty close together up in here, and then they start spreading out again up here. So it's pretty long actually, but it's not as long as I need it to be. Hold it this way. Nowhere near as long. And of course I got 13 more decreases or something like that. And then I need to see if it's actually going to fit around the waist, and if it's still too big, then I will decrease some more. So I started off with 120 extra stitches, which means that I had to add 10 decreases. Yeah, because I decreased 12 stitches every decrease round. So 10 extra decrease rounds to the pattern. I want this to land mid-calf, and I'm not a terribly tall person, but at the same time I do not like short skirts, and in the winter I want them long. So mid-calf, maybe just a little bit longer. We will see. I have decided to quit using the mohair and just use the hand spun once I'm done with the skirt. I'll probably throw in a little bit of gold at the waist just as a transitional piece. Let me go get my swatch here. So it'll be the skirt, the waist, and the rest of the dress. I think that'll be beautiful. I think it'll just add some pizzazz to the whole thing. So I am super excited to finally, after over a month, almost a month and a half, I guess, of working on this, I finally finished the first skein of yarn. And then I wanted to keep knitting and I couldn't because I had to film this. Anyway, I am beyond excited to have so much progress, and I just have a teeny tiny bit. I went to the end of a round and stopped, so I've got maybe a yard left, 2 yards left of the first skein, and now I got a big old hair in it, and it's tangled up. So I'm going to attach the other skein, and let's see, 1, 2, close to 3 yards. So yeah, I'm going to attach the next one and just keep on going, and I will be back with another check-in when I've had a significant amount of progress. But I'm so happy with this skirt and with how it's turning out. And even though the mohair is incredibly annoying and itchy, like I'll be wearing something underneath this. This is not going to be up against my skin. So it should be okay, but up at the top and on the sleeves, I just wasn't sure if I'd be able to handle it. And I actually laid this on my arm, this swatch, and just let it rest there, and it was like, ah. So yeah. Now the hand spun, it's fine. It's the mohair that I'm having trouble with. So, and that might soften up over time, but this is the first time I've added mohair into a project. So I'm not taking any chances. But I have so many other projects I want to work on, but this is like the only thing I can work on. Well, that and the gift knitting. The socks are easy. I take them everywhere. This I only work on at home, usually in my bedroom while I watch movies, or I think my favorite person to watch right now is the Norwegian knitter. I like to knit while I watch her. So also just started rewatching the Harry Potter movies, and those are great for knitting, mindless knitting, while I'm watching that. So I've gotten a lot of progress done, and it's coming along, but I don't know if it'll be done before Christmas. I want it done the end of November, and I think it'll go quickly once I get the skirt done. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go now so that this video isn't 5 hours long, and see you in the next update. Hey guys, finished the skirt I have with the lace and mohair. It is huge. I'll put a picture in here. It's terrible lighting and everything, but just it's when I finished the skirt and I wanted to try it on immediately. It's still on the try it on tubing. Now, I have too many stitches. I've been losing weight here lately, and I'm on a mission to try to lose some so I can be at a healthier weight. And I realized if I knit the size I was when I first started, it would be too big for me very, very soon. Too big by the time I finish it. So I need to go down. I can either remove the lateral braid and knit it a little bit longer, do a few more decrease rounds, or I can just start knitting again with the new yarn that I haven't spun yet. I need to spin. And just keep knitting with that and make it smaller on the first round. I don't know. I've got to go spin the yarn, which thankfully all the blending has been done for it. So all I have to do is spin. I have 6 ounces. I have 6 ounces of combed top that we made on the Hackle 2-spin, and I have 6 ounces of drum carded blended top, if you will. It's roving, but it's in the layers. And where was I going? So all I have to do is just spin them. We'll see how quick this is, beginning of September. So we'll see. My goal is to get it done by the end of October so that I can have all of November to try to finish it. And if I don't, then into December, I have plenty of time to get Christmas Day goal accomplished. So let's go do some spinning so we can work some more on this Christmas dress. Hey guys, I did not meet my goal for spinning the yarn. It is fun, but I finished the spinning on Thanksgiving Day, not in October. Anywho, now I have only 25 days to finish knitting this dress. Here's the skein of yarn. I just wound it into a cake. Do you see the size? It's big. Anyway, I spun this a little bit thicker because I was gonna hold the lace weight double. So, by the way, I started with around 12 ounces of the lace weight, and I have 2.8 ounces left after knitting this whole thing, like all of it. So I was holding it double with a strand of mohair. Do I know how to hold things towards the camera? And the only bit of the gold that I use, I don't remember how much this was to begin with, but I have 4.6 ounces left. I didn't use much on the lace trim at the bottom and the lateral braid up at the top. So I am going to start knitting now. It is December 1st. I'm so happy to have this yarn done. I've been wanting to knit on this for 2 weeks. It's been driving me nuts. I've had to force myself to finish the spin so I could. So let's get back to it. final progress on this dress, and it is December 10th. So it's getting scary how close it is to Christmas. I managed to finish the back and the fronts. I did the first front probably a dozen times before I got it right. The second one worked much easier because I already had everything figured out. The same thing happened on the back, but like I think I worked it like 6 times and figured it out. Because I wasn't following the pattern, because the pattern is just confusing and I wanted to do things different anyway. So I have all live stitches across the back on a stitch holder or tried on tubing. This stuff's amazing, by the way. And then I've just picked up the first sleeve and knit the sleeve cap. So these are set-in sleeves knit from the top down. It's really cool how you work the short rows, and I think I've gotten really good at the very unique turning method for the short rows. It's invisible. If you do it right, it's completely invisible, and it took me a while to figure it out. I figured it out during the bust shaping, the bust darts. But anyway, I'm really excited to finally have the first sleeve on the needles. I'm going to switch to a smaller circumference needle like I would use for hats. And I should be able to finish with that because you're not doing a huge amount of decreases. Now, if I want more fitted sleeves, I have to decide what I'm going to do. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. It's December 10th, and that's where I'm at. So it's huge, it's wonderful. I cannot wait to get the sleeves done. I'm still trying to decide what to do for the neckline. It is a very deep V-neck, which is one of my problems when shaping. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I got some things to play around with in my head. I might make the neckline separate and sew it on. We'll see. We'll see. See what happens. I just realized that I forgot to film anything about knitting the sleeves. I have finished the first sleeve completely, which the way the pattern is written, I had to, you knit the sleeve top down and then you have to knit bottom up to get the lace on there. So I had to graft the cuff onto the sleeve. And I'm almost done with the second sleeve. Very, very close to being done. So today I should be able to finish the sleeve, and then all I have left is the collar. And I'm still undecided on how I'm going to do that. So we'll see. Hopefully I can remember to film a little bit more about this today. I feel really bad. Like, I just have zoned out this month, and for the last several weeks I've completely zoned out and forgotten about everything and just been knitting and reading books and relaxing, and it's been wonderful. But yeah, not great when you're trying to film a vlog and you forget to film. But it's okay. I finished a whole series of books, and now I can focus on filming and knitting and all the things again. So let's get to it. Let's see if we can get this dress finished today. all done. I did cast off on December 18th. Today is the 29th as I'm filming this little wrap-up segment. I steam blocked it, got it over to my mom's. She got some footage of me. It was really, really, really cold, windy, everything. But I'm so incredibly, incredibly happy with the outcome. I did pick up around the neck with the blue yarn. Where is that? This is all I have left now of the hand spun, the last bit of the hand spun that I spun thicker for the top of the dress. So I cast on, well, I picked up stitches. I knit like 2 rows in the blue, and then I attached the gold, knit a round or 2, and then did the pattern. Knit 2 or 3 rounds, a few rounds of garter, and cast off. That's it on the neckline. I did do a central decrease in the center of the neck. Didn't put it quite where it was supposed to go, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I love it. I think it's amazing. So happy. Oh my gosh. And I can't believe I got it done an entire week before Christmas. Like the Wednesday before Christmas. Like how? So it was Friday. I'm looking for my phone. I'm staring at it. Anyway, it was Friday, the Friday before Christmas, that I took it to my mom's, got some photos and stuff. And I'm so incredibly happy it's done. I've worn it a bunch. Love it. I need to wet block it because all I did was steam it, which did settle the lace at the skirt. The lace just kept wanting to flip up like that. So I do have to say, if you're going to steam block where you're having to hold something with your hands, be very, very careful. Steam burns hurt really bad. I was very careful. It only hurt a tiny bit. I didn't get any actual burns. It was just very uncomfortable. So I'm happy. And it's so warm. As long as you wear like a layer underneath, this is incredibly, incredibly warm. If you don't wear a layer underneath, it's not very warm. So with an undershirt and tights and a little skirt underneath, like a slip, this is very, very warm and perfect for those cooler days. I'm so happy. And it turned out so perfect. I love my version. I love the original pattern, but I really love my version. So can't complain that things didn't quite work out as the pattern was written. Once I got to the bust darts, after that, everything else was just me. I did not follow the pattern at all. Could not make heads or tails out of the pattern, so I winged it. It works just fine. It's perfect. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging out with me while I knit this amazing piece of art. We're just gonna pretend I'm wearing it here. Obviously I'm not, but you know. I'm just so happy. Okay, this has turned into quite a long vlog, but I managed to edit down the majority of the footage, so it wasn't a 3-hour video after all. I think I started with like 4 hours of footage. Ooh. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this and that you had a fantabulous holiday, and I will see you in a couple of days. Bye guys.